All right, welcome back to another video of the Targeted Individual Program, Targeted Individual Experience. So one of the things that they will do, okay, and again, they're starting it up again. I have packages from Amazon that I had had sent to Pam's house because some of the things that I have is for the kids, right? And so I just got a notification that my packages are on its way. And so, they start doing this sniffling thing and then the car honking stuff and, all this other stuff that's going on. So, it's always the threat of stealing your package, destroying your package, stuff like that. It is continuous, right? And so, again, why they do it? Because again, they try they will try to again steal your stuff, right? Steal your whatever you order, what have you. Who knows? They might go pawn it, whatever. So that's what they do. What I'm saying? They're a bunch of thieves, and again, because um, they are those in law enforcement with the dark tribe personality type that think that they can do whatever they want to do to anybody at any time, and to make it to where again no one has a clue, including the victim, has a clue what was taking place, what was going on, right? And again, we're talking about a cult here, right? A destructive cult, right? And so, again, those within the authoritative position, within the military, within the security agencies, you know, they create cults or they create um, uh, secret societies, right? So, for example, I was talking to the TI I was talking to yesterday, and she was talking about how these religious cults, fanatics, right? They commit a whole host of crimes, including there was an article that she sent me about these cult fanatics talking about their kids are possessed with demons and all this stuff, and literally, you know, um, deleting their kids and themselves, right? Because again, their fanatical belief in a religion that is, is full of lies, basically. And because religion is such a powerful tool to indoctrinate people's mind, particularly when they're very young, okay, and this is something that we perpetuate within my community, or the community which my people live in. Um, they think that you're not sending your kids to church is, they associate it with being the what in the Bible what they call the devil or Satan or what have you. And a lot of shit is Hollywood. A lot of shit Hollywood put these things into their mind, but they don't even understand it, right? All the imagery and stuff like that, all the stuff they get from movies in Hollywood, which again is influenced by those who work in an unofficial role and sometimes even official role to these security agencies and law enforcement agencies and stuff like that, right? So whenever I look at a movie and I see the um, the subliminals, which again most people are not going to see because they're not conditioned. Well, let me rephrase that: they are conditioned, but they don't they lack the ability to see it. Okay, they lack the ability to see the the subliminals, right? Because it bypasses your conscious mind and it beds itself in your subconscious. All right. And so again, this is one of the reasons why they want to shut me up. This is one of the reasons why, particularly I'm doing my video, because I'm able to show you guys how it is that they, their tactics and their method, right? The synchronization, the subliminal threats, right? And it is something that, like I said, as target individuals, because our mind have been conditioned in certain way because of again non-consensual human experimentation, and they will, as with the dark tribe personality types, those the psychopathic mind and the Machiavellian is that mindset. They will literally tell us through silent sound, right? What is happening, what will happen, and most people are not going to believe us. Okay, this is why I record. This is why I do video. I record my videos so to show you guys. right? And then you can start to see the pattern. Once you start picking up on the pattern, right, is when you're going to start to see these things. Is when you're not also just that, but you're also going to see other things. So when they start a new pattern, and when they create a new pattern, like I said, if you're wherever it is that you're living, right, when you start to hear these very subtle sounds, particularly at night during the day, that makes no sense, right? That makes no sense. Like police sirens, car honking, fire trucks. They'll just leave out the firehouse and go on this noise campaign and then go right back inside. Or what they'll do, they'll have the civilian cult member perps call them, particularly if you're a TI and you're on wherever it is that you're at, then they'll come onto the block, either if you're going somewhere, whatever destination, they'll be there, and then as soon as you come, you'll see that they'll leave. They don't stick around. Immediately when you approach, when you're approaching, then they will be coming out of a building, or they'll be standing around the street, and as soon as they see you, they all will get back into their vehicles, their fire trucks, and leave. That is a pattern, right? That, again, most people are not going to recognize it. But if you're a TI and you can start to see these patterns, you can basically tell what's going on, right? How, the invasion of privacy, the synchronized movement, the stalking, stuff like that. And they can get around the stalking by surveilling you, have you on the surveillance and listening to your conversation, to where you're going, and then they'll set perps along the way. So they're not following you, right? In the beginning, they might follow you. But again, you have to be aware, right? So to get around again, it's still criminal, right? So what they'll do, like I said, they'll put people along the way to your destination, because again, they know where you're going, they know the route you're going to take, right? And even they have to put people on every single block. This is what they do, and at that point, you have to say to yourself, okay, is this a wide area broadcast of silent sound controlling these perps, or turn them into civilian zombies, basically? And at times you can tell, because at times when let's say something might have happened that unexpected, so then the synchronization is off. You'll see them running to whatever destination. You'll see them. They get jump scare at times, right? Because again, when they're zoned into that, in the frequency, right, that is being broadcast to their mind, whatever it is, they're zoned in, right? So if something happens, you'll see them like almost get like rattled, right? Or they'll start to say something and they'll be mumbling their words. They cannot say it out, clearly. This is what you gotta listen for and look out for. That's when you know that, radio wave and microwave frequency is being transmitted. Okay, so you really got to study these things, and this is what I've done, all right, and I continue to do, and continue to expose it despite the threat. And they can say many threats. So I'll give you guys another example. So this month was my birthday. My birthday was on the 19th, and I wanted to get myself something for my birthday. So I use Affirm. I've been using Affirm for years, right? Which allows you to make purchases, and you pay monthly. It could be as low as $10 a month for whatever that you bought, right? They break it down in monthly payments, right? And like I said, as a TI, when you have to budget stuff like that, this is what sometimes you have to do these things in order to budget, right? So there are times when I'm trying to use Affirm, and all of a sudden they ask, which again, I never used to have this issue, but all of a sudden it's like, okay, they need a picture of my ID, they need all of this stuff, all of a sudden, and it's been happening lately too. And what recently, when it did happen, I was like, okay, you know what, well, forget it, I'm just not going to get it. So I went back and tried it a couple of days later, and guess what, I was able to make the purchase, right? So like I said, this is why they'll do the threat of trying to steal my package and stuff like that. This is what they do. I mean, the sick mindset of these people, the criminal mindset, right? And they don't quite understand that they're also being manipulated. They're also being used, right? But because they are in a position of authority. They're cult leaders, right? They think that they can get away with it, right? But this is why I do what I do, exposing them. And like I said, it doesn't matter what they do to me. I, like I said, this is one of my purpose, and to make sure that they don't do this to anybody else in the future. And if they do it to anybody else going forward, whether it be my kids or other people's children or other people themselves, right? That they will be aware beforehand, okay? And give people the information that they need. So even if they have to create an anti, right, destructive cult organization in order to engage these destructive cult and to shut them down, then this is what, you know, this is the information that they should, that I'm trying to put out there so that they can understand and they can learn about. Okay. With that being said, I'll talk to you guys in the next video.